Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Although we may not feel perfectly well, we are grateful that we woke up this morning. We are grateful that we have another day of life. We are grateful that even if our bodies are sore or not in perfect use, that we can still stretch, we can still move, we can still breathe, and we can still enjoy the feeling of moving our bodies. We pray for protection, that this class would only help stretch out areas, but there would be no injuries, no overdoing it. We ask that you would help us find the perfect balance for us today so that we could leave this class feeling peace in our bodies and our minds. In Jesus' name, amen. So today the theme is standing at the sea. So what do you do when it feels like there's just no way forward? In front of you is this sea, this wall, and behind you the enemies are approaching. Do we cower in fear? Do we try to run and hide? Or do we stand in confidence and stand in knowing that even though it doesn't look like there's a way forward, there is indeed a way forward? So the challenge is to believe and have faith, even if your physical senses are saying there's no way forward, there's no way back, I'm stuck. But we need to learn how to flex our spiritual muscles. So the question is, how do we flex the spiritual muscles when our body feels weak? And I know we can understand the feeling of weakness because we've had sicknesses in our bodies, or we just feel tired about a problem that just keeps coming. So scripture tells us to be still and know that I am God. So it's very hard for me and for many others to stand still when there's a problem, because the natural tendency is to want to run around and try to find our own solutions to the problems. But the scripture very clearly says that we have to stand still when we feel that pressure. And it's hard to do. But one thing that can help us to do this is to keep track of our answered prayers. Like, I actually keep track and a record of what I asked for. Did it get answered? How did it get answered? And on what date? And that way I can go back and look, almost like a journal or a diary. I can go back and look and see all the answered prayers. So when I feel uncertain, is this one going to get answered? I can look back and feel more confident that he's never left me nor forsaken me. So this class is really just about doing what we can and feeling strong. Even when our body feels weak, we can be strong on the inside. So let's get onto our mats, and we won't go so crazy today. We'll have a bit of an easier class today. And avoid those upside downs. And hopefully my sound will stay good even when I'm back here. And you can just signal to me anytime the sound might go in or out. You can just kind of do a little wave, and that way I'll know to go fix the sound. So we'll just start off on our mats. When you're ready, we just lift up the 10 toes. Spread them out nice and wide, and just lift those toes up off the ground. So we're working our feet. I want us to work our feet. You should be able to see your tendons working here as you lift those 10 toes up. And then we'll place them back down on the ground. We'll do it one more time. We're going to lift up the toes, peel the toes. This time I want you to really feel the strength moving up your legs. So feel a nice contraction in your legs. Lift those 10 toes. Strong roots into the ground like a tree. And then gently release your toes back to the ground. This time we're going to come up onto our 10 toes. See if we can do a little balance here. It may help you to reach your arms out to the sides as you come up onto your tippy toes. You may feel some shaking in your body, but I want you to feel those strong legs, strong roots of the tree. And then release the arms and the feet back down to the ground. And let's try it one more time. As you inhale, lift up those arms, come up onto those tippy toes, balancing here, strong roots, strong legs. Feel the connection of the soles of your feet on the ground as you exhale and allow the feet and the hands to come back down. Good. Let's just inhale just the arms this time, reaching up into a V. And exhale, release down. You can move your head with your arms. So as you inhale, you're going to look up. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale up. Exhale, release, looking down. Last time, inhale, looking up. And exhale, release. Keep your chin towards your chest. This time, interlace your fingers behind your head. Draw your elbows towards one another and just gently pull the chin to the chest. Open up the back of the neck. And close your eyes. If you feel steady, breathe up and down your neck. Good. When you're ready, gently release the fingers from behind the neck and just bring your head right to center and gently tilt the head over to the one side for a few breaths. And when you're ready, roll the chin to the chest, hold here. And over to the other side, nice long stretch for the side of the neck. And right back to center, chin to chest. And gently lift the head right back up through center. Let's do the add-on here. We're going to inhale, reach the arms out onto a diagonal. We're going to exhale, release the hands behind the back. I'll show you from the side. We're going to inhale, clasp the fingers, and try to lift the hands up off the buttocks. And squeeze the shoulder blades here. Open the heart. Open your chest. And then exhale, release the hands down. And let's try it again. Inhale, reach the arms onto a diagonal. Looking up. Exhale, release down as you bring your chin to your chest. Interlace the fingers. And as you squeeze the shoulder blades together, you can look up again. And exhale, release as you look down. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up on a diagonal. Exhale, release down, chin to chest. Inhale, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale, release. Good. With your feet together, bend the knees like you're sitting down in a chair. And we're just going to send the arms in front of us. So rounding your back, chin to the chest. And then as you inhale, just come to standing and open the chest. You can even bring your hands behind you a little bit to open the chest a little bit more. So as we exhale, send the arms forward, chin to chest, sitting in a chair. Inhale, open the chest, send the arms behind you, and really open the heart. Squeeze those shoulder blades. And let's flow between the two poses in your own time. Deep breaths. Exhale, open with mouth. You can close your eyes. You know what you're doing now. And finish off one more. And come to standing. And this time when we come to that squat, I want you to hold here. So this time, palms facing one another, arms parallel, and you can challenge yourself to sit a little bit lower into your chair. Send those sit bones right back, flat back. Draw the belly button towards the spine. Try not to let your belly sag too much here. And when you're ready and your legs are feeling ready for a break, inhale, stand straight up nice and strong. And exhale, release the arms. Let's sit down in that chair again. We're going to sit down low, arms parallel, palms facing one another, flat back on a diagonal. Pull the belly button towards the spine. You'll feel some shaking in those legs, shaking in the arms, warming up the body, getting the blood flowing. And then when you're ready, inhale, stand right up. Nice strong roots of those legs. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, sit in that chair, palms facing one another, parallel arms, strong. Even when we feel weak, we conjure up that inner strength. And when you're ready, inhale, stand tall. And exhale, release the arms. Good. Let's just do some circle from the arms. We're going to open our feet nice and wide and just do some nice arm circles backwards. Getting right into the shoulders. If you have a shoulder injury, you can do smaller circles. But if you don't, feel free to go right as big as you can and then change directions. Take a big exhale. It's so good for our bodies to release cortisol, release that stress. Big exhales help us release that stress. Whether your body's been under the weather, whether your mind has been stressed, just let it go. Good. And from here, let's open the feet even wider now. Sides of the feet parallel with your mat. And we're just going to gently bend one knee. I'm sending my sit bones straight behind me. And then go from side to side. Opening the inner thighs. My back is on a diagonal, nice and flat. My head is in line with my spine. Now that you know what you're doing, you don't need to look at me anymore. Gentle rock from side to side. To make it a little more challenging, if you want, send your arms out to the sides like a bird flying as you rock from side to side. The next time you come over to your right side, you're going to hold here, flat back. Keep that head in line with your spine. And then we're going to come into a little twist. We're going to bring that left hand to the inside of that foot, opposite foot, and I'm going to send my other fingertips straight up to the sky as I twist. Looking right up to the sky. Deep breaths. And when you're ready, let's come out of the twist, send those arms straight up to the sides, and let's come to the other side. Bend the other knee, bring the opposite hand to the inside of that foot, and twist as you look up. If it's too much for you to bring your hands to the inner part of that foot, to the mat, you can always rest your hand on your shin or on your thigh. And then gently come out of the pose, just legs straight. Send those hands behind you, interlace those fingers one more time, and as you come all the way up to standing, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open that heart one more time. So especially if you've been coughing, you've been congested, it's really good to open up the chest muscles that have been contracting. The intercostal muscles we're going to get to next. And release on your exhale. Good. Let's bend that right knee again. This time, rest your hand, and we're going to send the other arm on a diagonal. So now we're going to get stretching all in between those ribs. Intercostal muscles, stretch them out. And when you're ready, gently come all the way through center and set yourself up on the other side. Stretch that arm across the body on a diagonal. Breathe in between your ribs. This time from here, we're going to turn that toe all the way to the side so we can spin our arms down and gently make our way into a plank pose. We're not going to stay here very long. You can come down onto your knees anytime you want. I'm just going to hold here for just a moment to get some warmth in my body, head in line with the spine. And then when you're ready for a break, drop one knee and then the other and send those sit bones right back to your heels. Press your way back. Bow down. Big sigh, open mouth. Coming to stretch those intercostal muscles once again. Send both arms on a diagonal on the right. So you're going to walk your hands out on a diagonal to the side. When you've walked your fingertips out and over, then drop your head and relax. Keep your sit bones trying to connect with your heels. Imagine a long line between your fingertips and your sit bones. Feel your belly breathing on your thighs. And then walk your hands all the way through center and come to the other side. So walk those fingertips out and on a diagonal, and then drop your head to the mat or to the knee. Breathe in between the ribs. From here, come back through center, and we're just gonna come in through that half push-up position, so half plank with your knees on the floor. Nice long line in your spine. And as we drop down, think of your elbows grazing the side of your ribs, connecting, working those triceps all the way down. Good. From here, let your hands be by your sides and rest your forehead down. Bending the right knee, grabbing a hold of the right ankle with that same hand. And if you can, just gently pull the heel towards your buttock, getting a nice stretch for your quads, your quadriceps on the front of your thigh. And we've done this before, but if you want an extra challenge, you can reach the opposite arm straight out in front of you. And we're gonna make what's called a bow pose. So I'm gonna lift my thigh, my knee up off the ground. I can even lift my head up off the ground. And I can even lift my fingertips off the ground of that stretched out arm and get a nice deeper stretch. In the quad, I'm also working my lower back muscles here. And when I've had enough, I'm gonna exhale and just rest back down. Continue to hold the heel towards the buttock for our last few breaths here. And then gently release that leg, and let's set up for the other side. So I'm gonna bend my left knee, grab a hold of that ankle, and just gently pull the heel towards the buttock. Feel that stretch, the front thigh opening. If you want more, we're going to stretch out that opposite hand out, And I'm gonna lift the knee and the thigh off the ground. Even my fingertips can reach up off the ground. My head can lift up, creating a bow. Work the back muscles as well as the quadricep. And when you're ready, exhale, release back down. Just hold the heel towards the buttock for a last few breaths. And then release the leg. If you want a challenge, you can try to bring both legs in and do a bow, but you don't have to. So I'm just gonna demonstrate, and if your body feels like it can try it, great. If not, just wait for a moment. I'm gonna grab a hold of both of my ankles, and I'm gonna see if I can lift my knees and my thighs up off the ground, and I'm balancing on my pelvic bone. But if it's too much, feel free just to hold, wait for us for just a second. And then I'm gonna exhale and release back down and gently turn onto my back. So let's flip ourselves all the way over. And just take a moment to lay on our backs here. From here, gently pull the right knee in towards the chest, interlace those fingers, and just guide the thigh towards your chest a little bit more. From here, extend that leg, send the sole of the foot straight up to the sky. Now, if you're like me and you're feeling stiff today, the leg may not be perfectly straight, but I'm just working towards straightening that knee, lengthening that leg. I can hold on to my thigh, I can hold on to my calf muscle. Maybe if I'm flexible enough, I can reach for those toes, or you can use your scarf, your band, your towel, whatever you have to help you here. Holding and breathing. And then we're going to take one or both of our hands and we're going to massage the back of that hamstring, the back of your leg. I'm just taking my hand and I'm rubbing up and down, opening up those knotted muscles. And I'm not sure about you, but I can actually feel the knots in my muscles as I massage here. With a little bit of pressure as you rub up and down. And then when you're ready, bend that knee back into the chest, hug that knee towards your chest for a few more breaths. Let go of a big sigh. We're going to draw the knee out to the side. So we're opening up our inner thigh, opening up our hip socket. I'm going to allow that knee to come right over to the side, opening up towards you. So I'm feeling a nice opening up through the hip girdle, through my inner thigh. And if I want more, I'm going to draw my knee up towards my armpit. So it's not just going out to the side, it's also lifting up higher towards my armpit. And then inhale, allow that knee to come back up through center and extend that leg. And just take a moment to lie on your back for a moment. Feel the difference between your left and your right hips. feel the difference between your left and your right hamstrings. The stretched out leg may feel actually longer in length. And let's balance out our bodies, coming to the other side. Bend the left knee to the chest, interlace those fingers and gently guide the knee in towards your chest. And when you're ready, extend that leg all the way to the ceiling. You can flex that foot. Again, if the knee is not completely extended over time, see if you can straighten your leg a little bit more, using those hands, holding on to the thigh, the calf muscle, maybe even the toes. Lengthen the leg. Breathe into the back of the leg. Making sure we're not putting tension or stress in our neck or our shoulders or our face. Relax your face as you stretch here. And then take your hand and massage the back of the leg, applying some pressure as I rub up and down, feeling the knots in the back of those muscles. And when you're ready, bend that knee back into the chest, pull in. And we're going to guide it out to the side. So allow that hand to guide your leg all the way over. And then we're not just bringing it to the side, we're actually pulling that knee up towards our armpit. Feel that opening through the hips, through the inner thigh. And when you're ready, gently guide the knee back up towards the ceiling and extend that leg. Take a moment to lie on your back. Feel the opening in the hips, the backs of the legs. And then from here, coming into our happy baby pose, I'm going to bend one knee and then the other. I'm going to open up my legs nice and wide and send the soles of my feet. Imagine you're trying to press the soles of your feet onto the ceiling to make footprints. I'm going to grab a hold of the outer edge of my feet and I'm going to bend those knees. And with the weight of my hands, I'm gently going to pull the knees in towards my armpits. So right knee to right armpit, left knee to left armpit. Deep, deep stretch for the inner thighs. If you want, you can rock your cradle side to side. If you've been experiencing any sicknesses, you're going to feel your back muscles are extra tight. So just take some extra care, move nice and slow, rocking from side to side. Deep breaths. And then gently rock all the way back to the center. We're going to send both feet all the way up to the ceiling. Press the soles of the feet all the way up. And we're going to take our time to drop our legs to the ground. So if you want extra work, you can reach your fingertips up over your head. We got to use the strength of our abdominal muscles, our core muscles. especially as they come more than halfway down. You're going to feel it. If it's too much for you, you don't have to have your hands up above your head. You can bring them down by your sides or out to the side. And when the heels have touched the ground, then reach the fingertips back up over the head. Stretch nice and long. Point those toes. And then we'll flex those toes. Pull those toes towards your shins. And then point them away from you. Flex the feet. Point the feet. Flex. And point. Gently rolling over onto your side, and use your hand or use your arm as a pillow for your head as you balance on your side. My other hand is just resting in front of my heart, and that's helping me balance here. And then I'm going to flex both of my feet to stay balanced. Lifting one leg, the top leg, up off of the other, just raising it up as high as you can. And then see if you can turn and twist the kneecap to face towards you. So instead of having the knee face away, I'm going to turn and do an outward turn. So my knee faces me. I'm going to grab a hold of my shin, my ankle, or my toes as I balance and hold here. If you can go a little deeper, pull those toes up towards your head. Straighten that knee a little bit more. And when you release, try not to let that leg fall down. Slow and controlled. Gently let it float through space all the way down. And then we'll come to the other side. For myself, I'm going to come all the way over. For you, since you know what you're doing, you can just roll over onto your other side and gently rest on that extended arm. Use it as a pillow here. Just take a few breaths here. And when you're ready, flexing those feet to balance, let's draw the upper leg knee bent first, and then extend the sole of the foot right up to the sky. If your knee is facing towards the front, rotate it and turn it towards you. Grabbing a hold of the shin, the ankle, or the sole of the foot, the toes. This side, I notice, is a little tighter, so I'm just gonna breathe here for a bit before I start to try to straighten out that leg. But as we hold and as we breathe and balance here, see if you can straighten out the leg and draw the toes towards your head. And when you're ready, release that foot or that leg and just let it gently float down. Take your time. And when it's come all the way down, let's gently roll onto our backs. We're going to draw the soles of the feet together and let our knees just open up into that butterfly pose. Reach your arms out to the sides into a T pose and just hold here and breathe. And this pose can make us feel really vulnerable because our heart is open, everything is open. Keeping your legs just as they are, we're going to bring one hand onto our heart, one hand on top of your belly button, and just allow yourself to feel your heartbeat, to feel your breath. Send your breath right into your belly. Like a balloon, filling with air on the inhale and deflating on the exhale. When you're ready to move out of this pose, you're going to bring your hands to the outer sides of your legs and just use your hands to help close those inner thighs together. We're going to cross one leg over the other like you're crossing your legs. So both knees are bent, we're crossing our legs. Open the arms back out into T-pose and then gently tilt both legs over to the same side. So we're coming into a twist. Really good for our lower back, and then looking the opposite way from the legs. Deep, deep breaths. And inhale when you're ready. Use the oblique abdominal muscles to lift your legs all the way back up to center. And uncross the legs, and we'll try the other side, crossing the other leg over. And I'm really crossing so that the back of my knee is touching the front of the other knee. Arms open wide and gently tilt both legs to the side, looking the opposite direction. And when you're ready, inhale, draw the knees back up to center. And let's hug both knees into the chest. Take your time to get up there. But when you are, just try to wrap your arms around the knees so that I'm clasping either elbow and then gently rocking again from side to side. And the next time you rock all the way over to the right side, stretch out the arms so it can be a pillow and come all the way over onto your side, gently resting here for a moment. We're slowly going to come up into a seated position, so press that hand that's in front of your heart into the ground to lift your way up to seated. As we come up, we're just going to come into a nice cross-legged position, hands resting on the thighs, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to walk those fingertips towards one another. So place your hands on the floor, and with your fingertips, gently walk those fingertips as far away from you as you possibly can. When you've reached your limit, you can melt your heart, melt your forehead to the ground. You'll feel a big stretch in your psoas muscles. You're going to feel a big stretch even in the lower lumbar spine, in the glutes. And ask your body, can I walk my fingertips just an inch or two more away from me? Can I sink and melt my heart and my head a little closer to the ground? And when you're ready, inhale, just slide those fingertips back towards you as you roll up through your spine. We're going to come into a twist with this side. So I'm going to bring my opposite hand to the outside of my opposite leg. I'm going to use my fingertips to sit and push me a little bit higher in my seated position. And then as I twist, I'm going to turn from the lower, middle, upper spine, head turning last. This is also really good to do after we're coming out of a sickness. We're twisting and squeezing all the dirty toxins, the viruses, the bacteria out of the kidneys, out of the liver. And when you're ready, inhale, just untwist yourself. And we're going to change the leg that's crossed over. So you've most likely naturally crossed your legs in a certain direction. So when you change sides, it may feel a little more awkward. And when you're ready, sit up nice and tall, work those fingertips and walk them out towards me as far as you can go, melting right down to the ground. Ask your body, can I walk my fingertips out just a little bit more? Can I melt a little deeper? And when you're ready, inhale, gently roll up through the spine. Take your time. Coming to the twist on the other side, we use the outer edge of that leg and we use the fingertips behind us to sit up nice and tall and twist. Lower, middle, upper, and then your cervical spine, your neck. And when you're ready, come out of the twist. And once again, bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, sitting up nice and tall, rooting your sit bones into the ground and lifting the top of the head to the ceiling. Lengthen out your spine. Deep breaths here. Right down into the belly, belly breathing. So when we allow ourselves to drop the breath into the belly, we're signifying to the body that we are not feeling stressed. When we feel stressed, we tend to breathe just from the chest, shallow sips of air. So let's release that cortisol, release that adrenaline, and bring the breath right down into the belly. Lord, as we leave this class today, we ask that you would remind us to look with our spiritual eyes and not just our physical eyes, that we would be able to stand in confidence, in authority, in full faith, that you are the Waymaker. You make our paths straight, no matter how crooked they look. And when you're ready, you can just slowly and gently start to open your eyes. Thank you for your practice today.